Well, let's bring in Olena Lennon, adjunct professor at the University of New Haven, who has family living in Ukraine. Olena, first, thank you for joining us. Have you been able to speak with your family in Ukraine?
Good evening. Thanks so much for having me. Yeah, we were all glued to our social media networks and phones and TV, trying to keep up with developments. As soon as Putin finished his announcement of the special operation in Ukraine to demilitarize and to denazify Ukraine, which was a horrifying message to hear. Missiles rained down all around Ukraine at 5 o'clock in the morning as people were waking up to the horror of what was going on and panicking, trying to seek shelter. Many people were trying to evacuate, causing incredible traffic jams on the road. Luckily, we were able to keep in touch with family and friends in Ukraine, all around Ukraine. We all stayed up all night trying to track the development and make sure that they can find safety. But we know, of course, one of the hardest things is to find ways to be helpful. And even financial support is extremely hard to deliver right now because ATMs have dried up on cash. Many Ukrainian banks have imposed limits on cash withdrawals. So it's increasingly harder to help people in Ukraine right now.
I would imagine. I'm so glad you have at least been able to get in touch with the family, with the friends that you have there. But just talk to us about the stress of living here in the States and watching all of this unfold so far away.
Well, it's hard to be away and not being helpful enough. Like I said, it's obviously it also impacts us here in the States. Because it's not just a Ukraine issue, it's a global issue. What we're witnessing right now will have, repercussions for all of us, not just economically, but also in terms of, our value system being under attack. So I think that this fight is not local to Ukraine. It has, global consequences, and that should be disconcerting to all of us here. But what we're seeing right now, too, is, despite the fact that the Ukrainian army is much stronger than it was in 2014 when Russia first invaded. And obviously, it is much more capable in terms of its defensive capabilities, and they have put up a really good fight so far. But they're still outmatched by the Russians. So there's, as much as the United States is trying to help Ukraine with defensive weapons and by providing intelligence, which is also crucial given how critical accurate information is right now. But I'm just afraid that, all those measures are not going to be enough.
Right.
So the sense of helplessness is excruciating. But at the same time, we're trying to be hopeful and
Absolutely.
at the very least appreciate what we, the democracy that we have here.
And it is a global issue, just as you said, Olena Lennon. We hope that your family and friends stay safe. Thank you so much for taking the time today. Thank you for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.